and gentlemen, I'm Mark Molina. This is Real Sports Live, and joined today by a couple of coaches, Raymondville's Frank Cantu, Mercedes' Roger Adame, and Lyford's Israel Gonzalez. Coaches, thank you for being here today. How are you all doing? How's it going this summer? How's it treating you?
Thank you for the invite. Like I said, a bit busy day today, especially with the news we got yesterday. But here we are, just trying to fight it, to battle it, to make sure our kids get a fair shake.
Right. Awesome.
Again, I appreciate the invite out here. I know there's a lot of information been going out there real quick, and obviously from the valley, but different parts of the valley have been affected differently. So hopefully we can get, like you said, overall we want the safety and stuff like that, but also for our athletes from around the valley. These guys that work hard and stuff like that. But I appreciate you taking the time and trying to inform the public on all this stuff that's happening.
Likewise, man. Thank you for the invite, for allowing us to get together and kind of talk about our opinions and where we're going moving forward with the UIL decisions and trying to get everything that we can solidified in this real bit fluid situation of changing day to day and week to week, and trying to get our athletes on the football field at the same time, being as safe and precautionary as possible.
Yeah, let's walk it back a couple of weeks. I'm sure everybody, this kind of one of the first dominoes that kind of fell was that was big for us here at Real Sports and other companies as well, as they're lifting the ban on the Friday night live streaming. That was one of the first dominoes that kind of fell down and showed that the UIL in their commitment to bringing back sports in a safe manner. But of course, they still were at that point just hoping for full stands, things like that. So and then strength and conditioning came back, and then also they keep updating the guidelines with the CDC and they've handed it off to the counties, different counties for you guys. So different orders. It's all a lot of moving parts here. But yesterday, of course, the calendars came down. Coach Adame, 5 and 6A are going to be delayed, but we have 4A and below, which fall under the umbrella of you guys at Raymondville, Coach Cantu and Coach Gonzalez at Lyford. You guys will be able to get the start time more or less on time. I think so. I think right on time. So let's start with you, Coach Adame. What was your opinion when it all came down, and how the UIL is handling this with the delayed schedule for you guys?
Yeah, we were expecting something, something similar to this. I mean, obviously a plan or something. As coaches, we just needed a date that we knew we could get started. But when we actually got the information yesterday, at first, we were excited because we'll have an opportunity to actually play a season. Obviously these boys have been working hard, especially for these seniors. They've been looking forward to this. But then obviously you look at also the safety precautions that our county orders are under, which is September 28th. So we're excited to see the date, a date that we felt that we could get started. But then you look at it, in our county, as far as 3 weeks, which is we're in full support of. We had a plan. Now we get to kind of just execute it. But overall, our feeling was we're going to have to look at, what can be played, how can we play it. We're in a 9-team district. Would that allow us to play these games fairly, competitively, and go into the playoffs? So we started looking at different scenarios. One great thing about here in the Rio Grande Valley, there's a lot of communication between the head coaches and the athletic directors, and so as phones started going crazy, just trying to organize ourselves. So first, we're excited in the sense that we had something that we could actually hold to, as far as there's a day we can start it. A lot of stuff is still out of our control as far as county orders, when the school is going to allow in person. When can we start the training? But obviously there's going to be some flexibility. But overall, we were glad to see a date. We were excited about it. It gives an opportunity to play some sort of season. And again, obviously with safety and precautions and all that good stuff in place, hopefully being out there and getting ready for the season.
Okay, that's one of the interesting things that we're dealing with here. I know the 5 and 6As. I know their start dates kind of fall in line with most county orders. Mid to late September that we're seeing. But move over to the smaller schools, and then especially Willacy County here, Lyford and Raymondville. Coaches, you guys get to start a regular start date, but they do not fall in line here with the county orders. Just have you guys been talking to authorities? I mean, just trying to figure stuff out. I mean, I imagine it's kind of a big adjustment for you guys to have to deal with that as well. Just if either one of you want to jump in here and start, I mean, just what are the challenges you guys are dealing with since yesterday?
Well, I think that the communication piece between me and Coach Cantu being in the same county, just a couple miles apart from each other, we were on the phone back and forth, seeing what the county was going to implement. So we were trying to, obviously we knew that something would come down from the county. We weren't sure exactly what the date would be. We knew that August 3rd was probably a little unrealistic as far as being a safe date to start. And sure enough, our county did come down with a recommendation that came out yesterday, I believe. Is that correct, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it came out yesterday. So, we want our kids to be as safe as possible. We think that our county is doing a great job of making sure that stays at the forefront and make sure that our kids are safe and they get to come back to a safe place and participate. And so, there was some communication between me and Coach Cantu as to what we've heard, what we're doing. Being in the same county, we wanted to kind of present a united front as far as schools and as a county to get a plan going. I think that's still ongoing. So the challenges are day to day. When we get back, what does face-to-face look like? How many kids are we going to allow into locker rooms, dressing rooms, showers, all those kind of things, besides the district schedules that we both have, that we're trying to figure out, how do we maximize how many games our athletes get to play and give them the best opportunity to move forward and continue their season.
Yeah. And for us, I mean, everything Coach said is right in line. Today, I spent the majority of the day just communicating with the coaches in our district up in the Coastal Bend area. And in those areas, the coaches are allowed to start on August 3rd. And us not being able to start to the 21st, I mean, that's just a lot of challenges trying to figure out what's the fairest way and what's the best way to try to do that. Us starting on the 21st, you still have some weeks of acclimation. You'd almost have your first game in October if that were the case. So what we've been doing is trying to get some information as to, how it was that the sub 5As got the early date and the 6As, of course, which, you could see we're in favor of a later date as well, so that we could fall more in line and get to play some of those games that are on our schedule. Our last regular season game would be November 6th. There's still a lot of November. There's some of December that we could play if we were to be allowed to start at a later date. And it would give us some more time to see where these numbers go. If the numbers go down, is it safe enough? When it's safe enough, it'll be safe enough for everybody. If it's not safe for the 5 and or the 6As and 5As, how can it be safe for the 4As and the sub 5As? So we thought that there should be a little bit more. That should have been a little bit. It should have been the same as what the general consensus is with the sub 5A coaches. So we're trying to get some information. Not that it can happen, but we're definitely going to try to kind of plead our case to the people that may be able to do something. I've been finding out today that we're not the only ones. We made contact with one of the people from UIL, and they said, hey, you guys are not the only ones. We've been getting calls from a lot of other places that are being affected in the same way. So we feel that gives us a little bit of hope. But either way, we're planning to have some type of way that when we do come back, if we do have to wait to that date and our season starts, August 3rd, that we still have a way to play some football and try to earn a playoff spot and go from there. So a lot of challenges, a lot of communication, a lot of calling around, but a lot of the sub 5A coaches are on the same page when it comes to that. We'd prefer a later start so we can try to catch more of our regular season as well.
You mentioned something very interesting. You said that the coastal Bend counties have gotten the okay, even county mandated. Have you? I mean, I'm going to throw this out there. I mean, and feel free to not answer or whatever, keep stuff close to the vest. But have anything along the lines of maybe playing games up north? Maybe at a neutral field, no fans. Have you guys discussed anything along those lines, or is anything being discussed? Because I know that you guys play schools up here further up more than maybe some of the larger schools in the valley. So
at this point, the majority of our conversations have been, what can you do if you can't start till that later date, and they've had a full season up to that. That isn't exactly, we're not playing on the same level field. And so those coaches have done a great job in suggesting some things as excuse me, even though they're allowed to go in the third, as not starting to a later date. Mm-hmm. And we feel that would just handcuff them. If they're able to play, you should be able to play. You shouldn't, be waiting for us to see what happens here. Because honestly, we don't know what else is going to happen here. Our best bet is to try to all start on the same date, and we all start evenly, and then go from there. And then that way we all start the same, and it gives us a little bit more time to see where this thing's going to go. I feel like I want to say Hidalgo is going to have some type of shelter in place where if this happens, the numbers, I mean, they've almost got to go down. It's just a matter of people staying in place and letting this thing right out, and that's in the kind of the best scenario. We don't know that that's the way it'll go, but we got to give it a chance. And with 3-4 more weeks, we can get a really good sense of where this thing is going. But if we're supposed to start on the 3rd, we're missing all these games that we haven't been out here. We haven't been able to practice or participate. And we want to try to salvage what we can for this senior bunch of kids that we have.
I think Coach Cantu brings up a great point where it's several counties that are involved in our district. As far as us, we're looking at Brooks County, Willacy County, Duval County, and the Coastal Bend area. So you're talking about 4 different counties that are involved in just our football district at our level. And every county's got a different start date. There's nothing that says that the county judges can't push these dates even further back if numbers don't go down. So it's just a lot of moving parts. And the consensus is right now in the district that we're in, and the coaches that we've talked to today, is that everybody wants to help each other out to have a full district season. The challenge ends up being is how do we make that happen with so many variables that are still out there and possible. Right now it's the RGV whose numbers are up, but very quickly could be Nessus County's numbers that are up and RGV's county's numbers that are down. So I think coaches, we're suited for finding solutions, man. I think it's instilled in us to be able to pivot and to find a way, and if adversity strikes, to either face it, attack it, and find a way to get around it. So I know that coaches down here in the RGV, as well as coaches across the state of Texas, they're best suited for these types of situations to be able to find a way. And I think, we're all dedicated to doing that at the 5A level, 6A level, and also the smaller levels where we're at, 4A, 3A, 2A, is to find a way to give our kids the best opportunity. Because at the end of the day, it's about keeping them safe and giving them the opportunities, like Coach mentioned, senior groups. We're a senior-heavy ball club, and we want our kids to play as many games as they can to hopefully compete at least a conference season and to give them a chance to get into the playoffs. And that's not going to just take the cooperation of one coach. It's going to take the cooperation of all the coaches across the state of Texas, in our districts, and across multiple counties and municipalities that are in charge of these counties. that are, you know, looking out for the well-being of everybody in the county.
Yeah, and you talk about circumstances. Coach Adame, you mentioned, you know, one of the things that's being thrown out here is maybe seasons might get shortened, you know, depending on when you guys start. But I don't think, you know, with you guys, you mentioned the 19 district. Maybe some of these smaller schools, they might sacrifice some of these non-district contests, or depending on what happens. You guys don't have that luxury. You only have one non-district game. Let's go with district. I mean, has zone play been discussed? Has altering stuff like that? I mean, there has to be a lot of talk of that with you guys as well. I mean, just what are some of the challenges with the size of your district? What does that presented?
You know, you mentioned the 19th district. Some of the things that we're looking at and some of the challenges that we're presented with was, you know, playing as many district games as possible. I know when we first got this news yesterday, we looked at it and said, well, is there a way that we can play, you know, all district games, you know, and give everybody, you know, that's the best way you want to do it. You know, that's the way you want it to happen. You want to be able to play everybody, and then at the end of the day, you crown a champion, or you get into the playoffs. But obviously, with the county orders and looking at that, it's not going to be feasible. So we did discuss, you know, preliminary with the other district in the zoning concept and having an east zone and a west zone, and then dividing that up. Obviously, you know, what location being the number one, you know, what schools are close to what schools, and it'll help us with eliminating travel. But then all that goes into, if we have 9 teams, there'll be a 5-team and a 4-team, which means you'll look for some preseason games, and then trying to match up with some other schools that are zoning as well to try to get some non-conference games. So you know, it's been crazy as far as the phone calls and trying to set a schedule up. We're hopefully we got a DC meeting tomorrow, and we're hoping that we can iron a lot of these details out, try to get a schedule in place to try to work from there. But obviously, like you're saying, you know, and just like coaches are saying, you know, we want to get on the field, we want to get these kids to play as many games as possible, you know, and to compete and on a fair level, on a safe level, and to be competitive, and, you know, obviously sending our representatives into the playoffs, some strong playoff teams into the playoffs to represent the Rio Grande Valley. And so, you know, all that coming in, you know, we're willing to sacrifice time, you know, and like Coach Cantu said, you know, we got a lot of November, December, you know, and that's a tough situation for those 4As, you know, being thrown into that, and not being able to control what counties and start and stop times. And so, like they mentioned, we're just trying to hope that in a few weeks and see maybe that obviously hospital situations need to improve. You know, numbers need to go down. I know we had a record day yesterday with deaths, and so a lot of this stuff is secondary. You know, obviously safety and everything's first, but if there's a way to get these seasons going, you know, that's it. But yeah, we have discussed the zoning. That's probably going to be the only feasible way that we can get a true district played and crown a champ, and, you know, get our first 4 seeds into the playoffs, and see what they're doing, you know, and our playoff opponents, you know, looking at, you know, the other district, you know, that's way ahead, but, you know, they're under the orders where they may get a full 10-game season in, and we're just hoping, realistically, we're hoping to get 6 to 7 games in, if possible, before that December 4th certification date.
Sure. And I just want to remind everybody, I don't know if for those watching who don't understand why the UIL gave the 4A and below a different date, the reasoning was, and this is whether you have your opinion or not, their reasoning was the bigger schools are logically going to be in higher populated areas than smaller schools. But as we know, in the Rio Grande Valley, that's really not always the case. Sure, like some of the McAllens and the Brownsvilles and bigger areas, those are like highly more populated areas. But there are some 5As like a Mercedes, or, you know, some schools that, you know, maybe aren't as in areas that are as populated. You know, so that their thinking was bigger schools equal bigger metro areas. They must have more people. They must have more chance of being at risk than smaller schools, which I, like I said, isn't always the case. So and I guess they were just trying to paint with broad strokes. But I mean, overall, just from, like I said, that first domino, whenever they lifted up the live streaming ban for Friday nights, just how do you guys see the UIL handling this? What's been your opinion? I know they've been trying to put their best foot forward, but I mean, just from a coach's eye, how do you think the UIL has dealt with it, especially with things ever changing from the CDC and them trying to, stay on their toes with everything changing? How do you feel the UIL has handled it all?
I think the UIL, they're doing the best they can, and like you mentioned, they're thinking behind of why they did certain classifications differently. I think they've done the best job they can. Texas is a huge state. We wish they would have. Everybody started at the same time. That would have been helped out. Especially for everybody here, and especially in the 4As, and starting there and giving everybody an opportunity. But I guess they got to look at everything, and they're changing just like we are. I know it's been tough for them. I know it's their 100th anniversary, and they're really excited about it. And they've had to adjust as well. But I think with the laxing of the broadcasting of the games, that's huge because I know here and across the Rio Grande Valley, especially here in Mercedes, people love watching their football, and this is going to give them an opportunity. If they don't feel comfortable, if they don't feel safe, to stay home, and watch the game. And it may come to where the stadium capacity at 50%. This will give them an opportunity to watch their family members play because obviously they may not be able to get tickets. And so I think is a great idea. I hope this continues because I know across the Rio Grande Valley, it's very popular on Friday nights, the stadiums, and not being able to get access to them was, you can turn on your computer or whatever it is and then watch the game. So, them doing that, it's a great move for everybody. And it shows that, they're taking the steps to try to stay safe as well. The way they've handled the strength and conditioning and trying to, give information on a weekly basis, it's been great as well. Like I said, we're excited. We had they've given us an opportunity to play. Like we said, especially with those senior groups that they get on the field. They've been looking forward to this since I know here in Mercedes and across the Rio Grande Valley. This is something that they've been coming to the game since they were 2 or 3 years old. And finally looking forward to their senior year and being able to step on that field and make their mark. We always talk about teams leaving their mark and leaving their legacy, and this senior group is no different than all our senior groups across the Rio Grande Valley. They want to leave their mark. So we're hoping that that we can continue to do that.
Coach Gonzalez, Cantu.
So with the live streaming, I think that's a great idea. I mean, personally, there's nothing like going to a live game if you can. I think those people that have the option will go. But with the situation of 50%, hey, now they're guaranteed that they can see the game. And I thought that was a great call by UIL. UIL has a tough job. I mean, it's nobody's nitpicking or nobody's trying to blame anybody for this or for that. They've got a tough job. Those are good people over there. They're trying to do the best they can. Like I said, we feel like there may have been a little oversight here, and we're going to look into it. But at the end of the day, whatever comes out, we will go with their decision. And in our side of the world, because those guys are playing up there, those coaches have done a great job. They've been real receptive to all kinds of scenarios and stuff. The Coastal Bend coaches. We've already talked about a zoning situation as well. But they've been good with us. We're going to try to keep our season the way it is. And when it comes right down to it, if there's no change and we have to go to a zoning schedule for district, we will. But they've been really open with us. They've been working with us. That they're very, they want for us to have a fair shake as best as possible. So we really appreciate those guys. And we'll see where this thing winds up. But we're very grateful. And again, the live streaming, man, I think that's a great idea. I'm a big time believer that if you got the opportunity here in the Valley, you're going to go live. But if you can't, which may be the case, it's a great opportunity to see your loved ones or people you know or people you want to just root for. And so I think that was a great idea by UIL.
Coach Gonzalez?
Definitely, I think that Coach Adame and Coach Cantu touched the bases that, I think the live streaming is going to be big opportunity for people to see their family, their kids participate in athletics. And, that's something that we want. At the same time, like Coach Cantu said, there's nothing that replaces Friday night lights and actually going out to a game and having those experiences. But I think UIL is doing the best they can. Coach Adame said that they got a tough job. State of Texas is huge, and districts are different all over the size. You got big 4As in Houston that are in metropolitan areas. You got small 2As that are in rural areas. So, to expect them to come up with a plan that's not going to affect one way or the other somebody in a negative manner is hard to do. And I think that they're doing what the best job that they can with the situations that are given. They've been forefront with information and trying to get us on the right path. We could very easily be looking at UIL have said that we couldn't participate in athletics. And I think they put the strong foot forward instead. If this is possible, we're going to put our foot in the ground and draw a line and say that we are going to have athletics if this is safe for our kids to do. And I respect that UIL has done that and given us at least the opportunity that if it's safe for our county and safe for our kids, that we're going to have the opportunities to do that. So, you look at other states that have done different things, and speaking for a small school, some scenarios is, I'll give you an example. What happened in California, that they've decided to move football to the spring. That would be very difficult for us at a 3A level because the number of athletes that we have that participate in multiple sports. I'm sure it probably affect Coach Cantu at the 4A level. I'm not sure how much Coach Adame would be affected at the 5A or the teams at the 6A level. But, we have multiple athletes that are playing multiple sports. And if you had those seasons going on at the same time, that would bring its own set of challenges. Again, I'm not against the season being pushed back. I mean, I think we want all sports to play. It just causes another issue with a new scenario when things like that are presented. And I think, UIL sticking to we're going to have football in fall is a big decision by UIL. And, in a tough time, it's like being 4th and 1 on the goal line. You got to make a decision what you're doing. And ultimately, somebody's going to say you made the wrong decision, or you're going to be the hero, and everybody's going to think you made the right decision. And then that's coaching football. And, and you put that in the UIL perspective or in the health and safety protective of thousands of people, and that's a very, very tough job that these people are handling, and they're doing a great job of it.
For sure. It's been great getting all the input from all you guys. I know a lot of people might want to, hear what's going on in the works, what's going on the ground floor of things, and definitely you guys are there on the phone and stuff, figuring it all out. So appreciate you guys talking on that. But it's also a very exciting time for you guys, no matter what. I mean, you're still trying to get stuff going. So let's go around before we check out here. Just tell us a little bit of what excites you about your each individual football team, what your outlook is for this year if we do play and when we do play. Just what can we expect from each of y'all's teams? We can go around here. We can start with Coach Gonzalez and we'll go around. So, Coach, take it away.
Well, we were very excited to have our football team returning a whole bunch of seniors this year. Last year we made the playoffs every single year. With the new realignment, we liked the way the realignment worked out for us. Bringing in some new tough competition. We were going to add London, CC London to our district. George West was a big competitor in our district last year and had won the district championship, and they were moving into a new district. We had won the district championship the year before that, so we were excited about. We're excited about the opportunities. Have a big senior class coming back. Last year we had some injury at the quarterback position. Caleb Klosterman would be coming back this year as a senior as our signal caller. So, really, really excited about that. Several other players, Louis DeVries, one of our defensive ends / offensive tackles, is just a tremendous athlete. Big kid, great size, great grades. just everything that you want out of a football player. Just really looking forward to those guys getting out there, and tons of seniors on both sides of the football that they can really get the job done. And as coaches, man, nothing's better than Friday night and seeing your kids succeed and making these big moments, seeing these big smiles on their faces after a football game or after a big play. So, looking forward to that in this group of kids that should be a strong class for us here at Lyford. It's something that we really, really want to push for. We're trusting in God's grace that everything's going to work itself out and these kids are going to get on the football field. But we're excited about our district. We liked our opportunities. It's like I tell the kids, you got to take things 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. You don't look too far forward. You look at the 6 inches in front of your face and you take care of that on a daily basis and good things are going to happen. And I think that we got to approach this football season just the way we're approaching COVID. We got to make daily decisions. We got to make the correct decisions as a community to be staying safe, to take care of ourselves, to wear our masks and protect ourselves. So these kids do have the opportunity to get out there and have fun. And I'm sure Coach Cantu at Raymondville, they've got a great football team and a great squad. And so does Coach Adame there and Mercedes, the Tigers, a tradition that's been built up for a long time. So we're looking forward to our football season. We're keeping the faith and not having any fear that this is going to happen and it's going to find a way to get done. And really, really looking forward to seeing those kids get on the field and get an opportunity and hoping that we can make enough district games to get a playoff spot and see how far we can take them.
All right. Nice segue there. Coach Cantu, your team last couple of years, dynamic as there has been in the Valley, especially on offense. A couple of really good seasons as of late. So just what are you guys expecting over there in Raymondville?
Yeah, so we're expecting big things. Of course, we've got a big senior group as well. It's actually a senior and a junior group, but those seniors have been part of a lot of our success that we've had. We're 27-6 in the last 3 years, and those guys have been a big part of that. We're excited to give them that opportunity to go out there and finish strong. We've won the district championship the past 2 years, and that's exciting to come back and now being a new district with there's 8 in this new district, so that's exciting. That's a big challenge for us. We'd love for that opportunity to go up there and play everybody and just have that opportunity to do the things that we've been doing. We've got a lot of our skilled people are coming back. We got some big guys up front, and so when you got that kind of those kind of kids, and you see the energy that they bring out, these kids, they love what they do. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff on their own. It's exciting, and we can't wait. And we just, we're praying, to God be all the glory that we get that opportunity, and we'll take it from there. But we just wanting to get that opportunity to go out there and finish strong.
And Coach Adame, Mercedes, as we talk about, always crazy about their football. In my eyes, one of the traditional good powers here that we have in the Rio Grande Valley. Just what are we expecting out of the Tigers this year, especially in that big district?
Yeah, here in Mercedes, expectations are always high. We're always trying to to reach that next level. And just like Coach Gonzalez and Coach Cantu said, we're competitors by nature. Our athletes and as coaches, there's a reason our guys play this game. There's a reason why we coach this game, and the key word there is opportunity. There's nothing guaranteed. Obviously, this has actually taught us that, what we're going through. But there's an opportunity to go out there and compete. And like Coach Gonzalez said, there's a lot of adversity out there, and you're not always going to maybe come out on top, but we have an opportunity to compete. And there's a lot of lessons that the Friday night brings to our I learn stuff on Friday nights every week, and then these kids can go through it, and I feel we're really excited about our football team and where we're at. We had a strong season last year. We fell a little short there at the playoffs. That's been driving us. We felt we should have gone a little bit more, and it's going to give an opportunity for us to go out there with some new teams in our district. Obviously, the PSJA schools, Memorial, Southwest, and adding Mission Vets to the other zone, very competitive. We feel it's going to be a playoff atmosphere every Friday night, and there's nothing like that. And there's nothing like that, and it's hard to explain sometimes. Somebody hasn't been able to be a part of it, and that's what just the whole atmosphere. We're excited to be out here with our band and our cheer and our Debs and everybody out there, and just the 50% capacity. But we feel that our football team is coming back this year. We got a good mix of seniors, juniors, maybe a couple sophomores. We do have our quarterback, Mike Cisneros, coming back, along with Horacio Pequeño, Josiah Cantu, one of the top receivers in the Valley. We got some good linemen up front, starting with our center, AJ Gonzalez. Defensively, our linebacker, Brandon Adame, kind of leading that pack right there. Juan Calvan as well up front. And so we got some guys that, have really worked hard to get to this point, just like in Lyford and Raymondville, to since they were little, looking forward to being on that field, and leaving their mark. And we always talk about that. This group of young men have been playing for the most part together since they were 5-6 years old, and they want to go on this field together their senior year and make their own mark on it, make their own memories, and see what they can do, and put a very competitive front up there for our community, for all our communities, and eventually get into the playoffs, like they're saying, and represent, the Rio Grande Valley. We've gotten some really strong teams. You look at last year, we got some teams that are right there getting close to getting to that fourth round, and it's bound to happen. And it's just the competitiveness and the work ethic that our young men here in the Rio Grande Valley have, and the Mercedes, the drive that they have. Coach Cantu said, a lot of guys doing stuff on their own. We don't got to remind them. You just got to drive around town and look at some of these parks, and these guys are driving themselves and motivated. And so, you just want them to have an opportunity, like they said, opportunity to compete, opportunity to go out there, leave their mark. And the lessons that they'll learn from this, I can tell you that this class that's coming in, this senior class, has gone through a lot, mentally, as far as what, we hear things, and they hear things, and so for them to be able to fight through that and learn through that, I said, that they're going to be greater for it, the character that's developing for them. So we just want that opportunity. I would hate for them to miss out on any of that stuff. And so we're excited about our football team, feel we can do great things. The main thing is going to be staying safe and being able to get on that field and, going out there and representing our community.
Great way to finish off. And like I said, we're hoping all these athletes be able to get out. We know it can't be easy. It's been a really roller coaster couple of months. But, we're taking steps. We're getting there. The UILs, like you said, they're trying. They're putting their best foot forward. And you as coaches, getting put through the ringer enough year after year around this time, now having to deal with this. A lot of respect from us here to you guys. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on and giving your opinion. It was a great time talking to you guys. And I feel a lot more people watching are going to maybe understand more and, get a greater understanding of the situation and what the coaches are dealing with. So, it's good to hear, safety first of the kids. So thank you for joining us, Coach Cantu at Raymondville, Coach Gonzalez at Lyford, and Coach Adame at Mercedes. Thank you guys for giving us your time today.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for the invite.
Thanks for having us, man. Coaches, good luck, man. God bless y'all.
Likewise.
Hey, thank you guys, man.
All right, and just want to thank everybody for joining us here for the 3 p.m. At 5 p.m., we got Coach Marco Hinojosa of the Los Fresnos Falcons basketball team. He'll be on at 5, so we'll have a nice chat here. So keep it here at Real Sports Live. Make sure to follow us on all our social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're on the Roku Network, Apple TV. Check us out wherever you guys do social media. Look us up. That's realsportslive.com. Thanks again, coaches, and thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back at 5.